Welcome back, Sales Warriors. In this episode, we're going to talk about 5 lead sources that create stability in your business. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Todd Conklin. I built a real estate brokerage from 2 of us in the basement of our home up to over 500 people serving 19 markets in 6 states. Our agents are absolute sales warriors, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about what we teach them on how to become exceptional in their craft, and frankly, build a business that funds a life that is worth living, if you know what I'm talking about. All right, so let's get into it. And by the way, for those of you that stick around, I got a little extra something for you at the end, so check it out. What I find in a real estate agent's business is that oftentimes what happens is they go like this with their business, right? They're so busy, crazy, and they stop doing some things, and then boom, it goes down. Now they got time and they have to start it all over again. It's like pushing a boulder, right? And like getting the momentum and then stopping pushing it, and then it comes to a standstill and you have to start all over again. It's not a way to build a great business that can fund a great life. It's not something that you can plan on. And frankly, if we're being honest, it's kind of a miserable existence because you never know what you can count on or what you can't count on. So what we teach are 5 resources, 5 lead sources that can create a stable business, the one that's consistent, repeatable, something that you can count on. And we always start with our what we call past clients and sphere of influence. But many of you don't have past clients. You don't have a sphere of influence necessarily. So the question really comes down to, well, how do you build this list? Well, listen, there are a bunch of different ways that you can build a list. But if we're starting from scratch, well, all of your friends and family, those are your immediate resources. Then you would go out and you would look, well, what are the clubs? Maybe you're a tennis player or a pickleball player. Maybe you play basketball, or maybe you're part of a country club. Those are all people that know you, right? They at different levels know you. And so what you got to do is you've got to start to build that list. For brand new agents, I would tell you got to get to 100 as fast as possible. Like that is your game plan. For those of you that have been in the business for a period of time, your target number is 250. Just like socially, 250 seems to be about the number that we can actually remain relationship with. But that's your sphere of influence. Those are the building the list. In addition to those would be past clients for those of you that have been in the business for a while. The stats are pretty staggering, right? Like when you look at it and you say, well, of the people that have purchased a home and they are surveyed, they say, hey, listen, did you enjoy that? Yes, we loved the agent. They were great. 93% of them, in fact, said that they would absolutely use that agent again. But if you can imagine, only 8% actually did. And the reason for the reversal is because what happens is the agent stops staying in contact. And so life happens. And so if I stop providing value, if I stop connecting with my sphere of influence, if I stop providing value to my list, serving my list, what happens is those people then become friends with other real estate agents. They begin to build relationships with other people, and other agents begin to provide value and stay top of mind. In other words, they do a better job of serving your clients than you did of serving your clients, right? Okay, so that's number 1. I'll leave you with this one piece. The number of touches that you have to execute on in a given year is 52. And I can teach you in a different video all of the different ways that you would do that, but 52 is your minimum number. All right, the second source of leads to build this stability that we're all looking for in our business is open houses. Now, open houses are an interesting bird. I know a lot of people say, oh, I'm not going to do open houses, or oh, I do open houses and nobody ever shows up. And so they are a little cyclical. It does vary depending on what's going on in the market. But let me tell you maybe a different way of looking at it. Oftentimes what happens is people think of open houses as simply putting some signs out and turning the lights on to a home and people will come. It is not the field of dreams, and it doesn't work that way. What you really have to do is you have to approach open houses from a perspective that it's actually a lead source, right? A real bona fide lead source that you use to market to an entire community. So that could be a geographic community, also could be a demographic community, and we'll talk a little bit about what that is. But here's the thing, you've got to have a proven process that allows you to reach out and market to people in advance of the open house. You've got to have a proven process of how you actually execute on that open house. So the day of, right, the leading up, maybe the 3 or 4 days leading up to, and then a couple of days afterwards. And then you've got to have a post plan that allows you to maintain the nurture of all of the leads that came in. We don't know exactly where these leads are when they come in the door, right? So our job is to build rapport and identify where they are in the process. Then I can plug them into my funnel where they're supposed to, and then I can begin to nurture them with relevant information, providing them the value that you would need at the stage that they are in their search. Make sense? The other piece to this is that oftentimes what happens is real estate agents think that open houses are really meant to get buyers. And while buyers do come to open houses, interestingly enough, you are also, it's an interview, if you will. You are demonstrating to anybody that might be thinking about selling their home what it would be like to work with you to list their home. So oftentimes we forget, oh, hey, you know what? I should really be focusing on other people that might be looking to list their homes. And I can show them what I'm willing to do to make sure that their home gets sold. All right, so that's open houses. And again, I do have a proven process for open houses. I might link it in the description. We'll see if you're good.
Hey guys, sorry for the interruption. I'm going to get you right back to the video, but most of you know me as a real estate broker, or maybe somebody who's built and scaled one of the fastest growing sales organizations in the country. What you may not know is that I also work with other sales professionals and leaders that are looking to grow and scale their businesses and just live badass lives. The one place that I have everybody start, the very first spot, is the Lethal Scripts for the Sales Warrior. I'm going to give you one for free today, just so that you can get a little taste of what it is that we're doing out there. So click on the link below. We'll send you the information, and let's get back to the video.
All right, next one, farming. Farming is an interesting one. Farming is, listen, I'm going to go straight to farming, right? Like a piece of dirt. You don't go out and throw some seeds out there and pray for rain, and then tomorrow all the crops are there, right? No, it doesn't work that way. We've got to make sure that the property is plowed properly. We've got to make sure that we've got it all set up. Then we got to go in and plant the seeds. We've got to make sure it's watered properly. We've got to fertilize it. We've got to weed it. We got to make sure, and it takes a long time, right? This is really similar. It's going to take a long time. You're going to have to pick your farm properly. You're going to have to identify what the churn rate of that area is. It may be a geographic farm. It could be a demographic farm. You're going to have to determine that. You're going to have to figure out exactly how much money it's going to cost you, exactly how much time it's going to cost you. You're going to have to invest in a farm. And then what you expect a return to be under what period of time. Farms are very interesting, and I'm just going to focus on a geographic farm right now. But you know, you can look at it and say, gosh, you know, what's the typical return? Your typical return is going to be somewhere between 12 and 18 months if you do it properly. Well, what's the typical expense? Well, the typical expense is going to be a minimum of $100 per month. That's just in your mail. So anything else you do above and beyond that is probably an additional $50 to $100 a month. So you're talking about $2,400 a year plus your time. Now, here's the piece. You can't outsource your time. People do business with people, not with postcards, not with letters, right? Not with football calendars. That's not what they're doing. Now, it may be part of your farming strategy, but you've got to use these as opportunities to build relationships and connection and reasons to knock on doors and that kind of thing. And in the Lethal Scripts book that we wrote, we have literally scripts for each of those door knocks so that you don't sound like, you know, well, I don't know, like a used car salesman. No offense to used car salesmen. Y'all are good. Don't comment if you're a used car salesman, all right? Or you know somebody that's a used car salesman. I buy used cars, so I love used car salesmen. All right, I'm going to move on. All right, number 4 on my list is online. Online. Listen, y'all. If you don't have an online footprint, like if I look you up and I can't find you, then you don't exist. I'm sorry, not sorry. I don't care whether or not the queen herself is referring you. somebody is going to hear your name. They're going to be at a cocktail party. They're going to be saying, gosh, yeah, I'm interested in maybe buying a place. Or the person they're talking to is going to be like, oh my gosh, you got to talk to Sally. Sally's amazing. She's the greatest. She's the best agent in all of the land. And that person's going to leave that cocktail party, and they are definitely going to want to use Sally, but they're going to search her up. And if they can't find her, or what they find is not impressive, then they're not going to use her. Okay? That's just the way it works, regardless of how good the referral was. Of course, if you aren't there, people that are literally in earnest looking for a real estate agent in your marketplace won't find you. And that is where they're starting. We all know the numbers. It's over 85% of buyers and sellers start their searches online. Well, if you're not there, then you're a secret agent. Okay, you don't want to be a secret agent in this business. You've got to be notorious. So the number one place, I get this all the time, where should I start? And everybody's like, oh, I should do this profile or that platform. Yeah. What's the number one search engine in the land? Is it start with a G and end with an E? It's Google. So start with Google. Google's done some really great things where they've said, hey, listen, we're no longer going to allow some of these big companies to outrank the micropreneur, which is you, the real estate agent. What we're going to do is we're going to even the playing field a bit. So we're going to say, hey, listen, Google my business. As long as you build it properly, and there is a way to build it, and if you need to know how to build it, I'll probably link another link here that will send you to the video that takes you step by step on how to do that. But you've got to set it up properly. You've got to have 100 or more photos. Your hours need to be 24/7. Don't fall for the trap of 8 to 5. Like those kinds of things. There's tips and tricks associated with this. But once you have that thing built and you build your review strategy, and now you begin to rank organically, now you have your unfair share advantage on all of the big companies that in the past have outranked you. What's also great is you do have the ability now to run ads through Google My Business, and they call them Google screened service ads, that kind of thing, where while it may be expensive per lead, the leads that you're getting are far and away better than any other lead from a quality perspective. And there's other companies that like start with R and start with Z that are going to sell you tons and tons of leads, but that doesn't work. All right. The last one for you is social media. Online and social media, not the same, okay? Social media is very specifically social media. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. These are all platforms that have different demographics and different types of buyers and sellers that are there. So you've got to pick them properly, and you've got to make sure that you meet the customer where they're at. So let me give you an example. If I'm in commercial real estate, or if I'm in high-end luxury real estate where I'm selling properties that are owned or going to be purchased by CEOs and COOs and that kind of thing, LinkedIn is an incredible place to be. Okay, commercial folks, high-end luxury, that's where you want to be. You want to have a presence, and the way you interact with people there is just different, and you're going to need to learn that skill. Facebook, from a demographic perspective, Facebook is very interesting because it primarily feeds and is used by a demographic that's buying and selling homes right now. Now, once you get into Instagram, Instagram is going to be much more visual. There's a lot more scrolling going on there. And that's going to be the next generation of people buying. Follow what I'm saying? So you've got to be able to meet these people where they're at, and there's a system for each. Obviously, video is king. Yes? Can I get an amen? That's only been preached for like 13, 14, 200 years. But whatever. Here we are, right? I love the way you look. You're beautiful. You sound amazing. You dress great. Like, get over yourself. Shoot the video. Okay? All you're going to do on these videos is answer the questions that you've been getting from all those people at those cocktail parties, at the grocery store, at the PTA meeting, while you're doing your listing presentation or buyer presentation. Well, what do you mean, Todd? Well, keep a notebook, even if it's like a regular notebook or on your phone, a notes app. Anytime anybody ever comes up to you and asks you a question, write it down, all right? Hey, what's going on with NAR? Hey, what's going on with the interest rates? Hey, how's the inventory levels? That would be 3 very quick videos that I could shoot that I would then post, and now I'm providing value to my community and I'm building influence. Y'all, social media is an influence-based lead source. You aren't going to go stalk people and convince them to use you, but what you are going to do is provide free value, give away all the good stuff, show yourself as the pro, and then your connection strategy that you will use relating to those social media platforms will then broaden your base, right? That's what gets you more followers, that's what gets you more leads, etc. All right, so I've given you 5 very specific lead sources so that you can generate a business that you can count on, one that's consistent, that's repeatable, it's building stability in an unstable world. Yes? All right, so let's go through them. Build your list, that's your past client sphere of influence. Open house strategies, there's a proven process for that. Farming, pick your farm properly, execute properly, have clear expectations. Online, if you're not found online, you don't exist. And in social media, it's about building influence. So I hope that helps you. If you like this content, please give me a thumbs up, give me a comment. If you know somebody else that might benefit from this content, please share it. And for those of you that stuck around, I have a free gift for you. If you'll click in the description below, I'm going to give you a free copy of the Lethal Scripts for a Sales Assassin. It teaches you everything you ever needed to know about what to say, when to say, and how to say it. Hey, listen, as always, we're here to serve you. We're here to help you build exceptional businesses so that you can have exceptional lives. I'll see you next episode.